Welcome. Welcome to today's Vinyasa Flow online. All right. So here we are gathered on day 4 of this very unique experience in our life. Hopefully you guys can hear me. We're just coming together we're together apart, right? We're apart together. We are distanced, but we're very social. So we're just sharing practices that are so valuable to all of us in a way that is accessible and safe for us all right now. So thank you so much for joining us and for being part of this experience. So as always, just let yourself have a little fun today. Just notice where you may be holding things in your body, and give yourself some extra breath, some extra movement in those spaces to really shake out the negativity, the stress, the anxiety, anything that you may be wearing in your body. I'm going to guide you through a flow, and I welcome you to do what I'm offering, or do whatever you want. You're in the comfort of your own home, so nobody knows what your practice is going to look like today. And your practice really, it doesn't matter what it looks like. It's really all about what it feels like in your body. So make sure it's serving you in all the ways that you need it right now. And tune into that inner wisdom of the heart and the guidance from the heart and the mind to let your practice unfold in a way that feels right today. And as you're practicing, if you notice, it's a little too much for me, then take a child's pose or just pop some popcorn and sit around and watch us. That's all good. As long as you're showing up, as long as you're focusing on what you need today, that's your practice. So we're going to begin seated, finding a sukhasana. Sukha means ease. So if you haven't yet had a chance to check in with where you can invite some ease into your body, now's a good time. Settle into a spot. Maybe you need to wiggle and jiggle and move a little bit before you get settled. So find your space. And once you begin to get settled, just let everything soften. Let the eyes gently close, or let the gaze float down the bridge of the nose. Let the cheeks become soft. Relax the gripping of the teeth and the tongue within the mouth. Feel the weight of gravity drawing the shoulders down away from the ears. Letting the hands drape down toward the thighs or the knees, either palms up for receiving the energy in the universe, or palms down for a stronger sense of grounding. Notice the spaces where you're connected to the earth. That rooting sensation is ever present for you. It's so important. It reminds you that you are here now. This is the moment to be honored. So while you're settling in, if you notice that the mind is still swirling with thoughts, conversations, predictions, concerns, give yourself a chance to clear some space today in the mind. We can't stop the mind from thinking, it's its job, but we can always create space, and we can make a conscious choice to tune our attention into something else so that those thoughts aren't haunting us. So what is it that you'd like to focus on today? Start to cultivate a centering thought that serves you well. Maybe it's gratitude. Maybe it's love. Maybe generosity. Maybe coming back to the centering thought that I brought up yesterday, which is, I am enough. I have enough. And I am grateful. Allow your centering thought to feel really authentic to you. Once you've captured the spirit of your energy right now, just let that centering thought repeat itself in your mind. Say it over and over until you really start to feel it seeping into all the cells of your body. Let it truly keep you centered and inspired today during your practice. Yesterday we worked on our Durga breath, a three-part breath. And today we're just going to engage in a simple Samavriti breath, a breath that looks to find some sameness and evenness on both the inhale and the exhale. So I often like to bring a visual of a mountain in when we do Samavriti breath. Just imagine that you're taking the inhale up one side of the mountain, finding pause at the summit, just looking out at the beautiful, breathtaking view, and exhale down the other side of the mountain. And then you can also pause at the base of the mountain if you want, or you can just inhale right away if the pauses are uncomfortable for you in any way. So when you're ready, slowly start to cultivate that deep inhale, drawing it up from the base of the spine, rising up through the middle body, the upper body. Once you feel like you've expanded as much as you possibly can, then invite a little pause and just look out. Just think about something beautiful in the world. And when you're ready to exhale, slowly let the breath go as if you're descending the mountain back into the valley. Once you get to the bottom, really ensure that everything is pressed out so that we're not holding on to anything stale within the body. That next inhale is completely fresh. So continue on your own with this Samavriti breath. Sometimes it helps people to count. Maybe you count 6 as you climb the mountain, and then you count down from 6 as you descend the mountain. Make sure it works for you. And as you're consciously choosing to focus on the breath, if other thoughts or distractions start to steal your attention, just notice them. When we notice we're distracted, that's a moment of awakening. And we can consciously bring the attention back to the breath. Let's take these last 2 breaths together. We're going to inhale through the nose. Open the mouth side out. Let everything go. One more big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Can't do that anymore in public, so we have to enjoy those great big stress relieving sighs in the comfort of our own home. We're going to begin to move, start to warm up the spine. So big inhale, open the arms, lifting them up to the sky. And as you exhale, take a little twist to the right side. Inhale, lifting, rising. Exhale to the left. Those of you who were with us yesterday will be very happy to know I showered, I shaved. Showers are quite optional these days, but it feels really nice when you treat yourself to one. Keep lifting the spine on the inhale, twisting on the exhale. We'll do one more over to the left side. Big inhale and exhale. Nice. As you inhale, lift the arms up, open the heart, and as you exhale, reach the arms behind you, round through the spine, tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, lift up, open up, feel the extension in the spine. And as you exhale, round, draw the belly back toward the spine. 2 more. Just think of this as a seated cat-cow. Big inhale, retract and round as you exhale. Last one, big breath in. And release your arms by your side. Notice how your legs are crossed. Let's move this out of the way. We're going to plant through the hands and just whichever leg is in front, we'll switch to the back. But do your best little Rockettes right now. And then come to Sukhasana with the other leg on top. Let's do a little lateral flexion in the spine. So big inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, reach over to the right. Inhale, windmill the arms up and overhead. Exhale, reach to the left. Just keep going. Keep the sit bones rooted so that you really get the maximum stretch through the side body. Working out all the tightness and tension that you may be wearing. Let the breath flow freely through the body. One more on each side. Big breath in. And reach. Nice. Come back into center. Interlace fingers behind the back. Any pattern will do. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears as you lift the head up toward the sky. Feel a beautiful stretch through the heart space, opening wide, shining brightly. Keep squeezing, engaging the shoulders. And we're going to let that go and roll right over to our table position. So once you find your table position, feel free to move around a little bit. Just make some circles, make some ripples through the spine, shifting into the hands and back to the hips to wake up the joints of the body. And remember that since you're doing a home practice, you have so many wonderful things that you can use as props. So blankets, bolsters, books, the wall, anything that you find can help you feel rooted to the earth or can help you find some stability in some of the shapes that we take. So use them. 2 more breaths, just moving freely, whatever the body needs right now. Then we're going to send hips to heels so that you become familiar with your child's pose. This is Balasana. Child's pose is a really beautiful shape to return to when you need to find rooting and grounding. If you notice during the practice that a thought sweeps in to distract you, come on down. Remember that you are here now. This is your present moment. And you can also use that opportunity to recultivate the breath if the breath gets choppy in any way during the practice. Mine totally will, because as I mentioned yesterday, I'm not used to taking my own class. I was kicking my booty yesterday. Not used to talking and practicing either. So thank you for staying patient with me. Hopefully I don't sound too breathy on the microphone. All right, slowly start to rise up through your table position. Make sure your alignment is just right here so that the shoulder stacks over the elbow, over the wrist. Start to just make some rotations in the upper arms. Notice the eyes of the elbows as they swivel in and out. And ultimately, when we start to flow through our chaturangas, you want the eyes of the elbows to be facing forward, not facing each other. When they face each other and we go down for chaturanga, the elbows bend out to the side. But when we are aligned such that the eyes of the elbows face forward and we bend the elbows come to the rib cage. That's our chaturanga. So from right here, we're going to shift forward, bend the elbows, lowering the chest down toward the earth. Let the arms come out nice and wide. Come onto your spider fingers. And as you inhale, root the thighs and the feet down to the earth. Lift the heart up. As you exhale, melt the right shoulder down to the earth. Look over the left shoulder. Inhale, peel that right shoulder back up. And exhale, let the left shoulder go down. You're going to keep moving like that. Feel yourself really moving sort of in a primal way with the rhythm of your breath. Inhale. Exhale. You're also welcome to add some leg movements as you come up and twist. Maybe this left leg comes over. Maybe the right leg comes over. Just start to get a little wild. Get creative in your practice. Maybe you want to stay up here and take some shoulder rolls. Remember that yoga shapes don't have to have a Sanskrit name. They don't have to have a picture in some fancy yoga book. It just has to be whatever your body wants to do. So get creative, get playful, get raw. Come back into center. Float the hands back to the tops of the ribs. Draw the elbows together. Press back through table position. And then curl the toes under. Hips rise as the belly draws toward the thighs, coming into your downward facing dog. Once you arrive in your downward facing dog, alternate pedaling out through the heels and rolling onto the toes. Keep inviting more length in the dog, feeling the tailbone reach up to the sky. Take one more big breath in. Let a breath go. As you inhale, we're going to shift forward into a high plank. Release the left knee down. Peel the right arm up. Come into a supported side plank. And then release the right hand back to your high plank. Release the right knee down. Left arm up, supported side plank. We're just going to move like this, side to side, awakening the core energy. Working on our balance as we shift the weight from side to side. Working on maintaining nice, safe alignment in the body as we flow. So be mindful of the positioning of the joints. Nice. From here, we're going to come back into a high plank. Lower down. I feel like Cousin It right now. I'm going to put my ponytail in. Don't you worry. We're going to lower down chaturanga. Flip to the tops of the feet. Root down as you rise through the heart. Finding your cobra. Curl the toes under, hips high, downward facing dog. So you keep working on that dog while I work on this wild shampooed hair. Breathing into the body, finding length. As you inhale, finding a deeper stretch as you exhale. And then slowly start to walk the feet to the hands. Come into a forward fold at the top of the mat. Hands to the elbows, sway a little bit from side to side, shake out the head, maybe flutter the lips. Notice if the tension that you're wearing is up in the shoulders, shake them out. You don't have to hold that any longer. Find some freedom today. And then release the bind, roll all the way up. Keep the knees bent to support your back. Rise up, reach up, open the heart. Bring the arms down in a goal post. Inhale, rise back up. And then exhale, float back to fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, root to rise up. Goal post the arms, open up through the spine. Inhale, rise. Exhale, swan dive down. We'll do that once more. Halfway lift, hands to shins, back is flat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees. As you lift up, gaze up. Exhale, draw down. Inhale, back up. And fold. Nice. From here, we're going to step the left foot back and then release the knee down. We're going to inhale, come up into a low lunge. So sink deep into that lunge, creating some space through the hips, and walk the right toes a little bit forward so that you can stack the knee over the ankle. You're going to sweep the arms up, come back into that goal post shape, and notice how it feels here. Draw the shoulder blades together. Feel the heart shining so brightly. Maybe bring someone to mind right now whom you would love to shower with that heart energy. Maybe someone who's not with you right now, someone who's holding up in their own house. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, frame the front foot. Keep that left palm rooted, right arm rises. And today we're going to start to open up the hips by reaching that right arm behind us. And I've come to the outer edge of my right foot, so my right knee is sort of butterfly winging open. Feel that really beautiful stretch through the hips. Keep rooting down through the left hand. If your wrist starts to get sore, make a fist and root into the knuckles. Another big breath in. Let the breath go. On the next inhale, cartwheel the hands back inside that right foot. Come into a little lizard lunge. So it's a modified lunge. We've got the left knee down, but we're just opening up some space inside that right hip. Or you can keep the right knee hugging onto the right shoulder as you draw the heart forward. Big breath in. Try to create space in the neck. And then curl the toes under, lifting that left knee. We're going to come right into the center into a forward fold. So maybe you have a bind on the big toes, bow down to the earth. Once again, shake your head, flutter the lips, maybe move the shoulders a little bit more, wiggle and jiggle. And then slowly start to walk back to frame the right foot. Left foot joins forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up, open up. Exhale, goal post the arms, big back bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, swan dive down. Nice. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Plant the hands. This time the right foot steps back, finding your lunge. Release the right knee. Rise up. Take the time here to align the hips and to have the knee stacking over that left ankle. Sweep up back to that goal post shape. Invite someone else into your heart right here. Sending them wishes for good health and plenty of toilet paper. Take another big breath in. And release the hands down. This time, plant through the right palm, the left arm reaches up to the sky, and then start to pivot the gaze back, the hand reaches back, and you come onto the outer edge of the left foot. So big opener for that left hip. If this is uncomfortable for you, then stay here in a spinal twist. If you're comfortable going deep, go deep, but try not to collapse into that right shoulder. Keep pressing into the earth. You guys look awesome. Keep breathing. Big breath in, breath out. And on the next breath, that left hand comes back inside of the left foot for your modified lizard lunge. You can also, you can always heat it up a little bit. Lift up that right knee if you want to heat it up, or just stay slow and gentle, breathing deeply into the spaces of the hip, noticing the sensations. And every time you notice, we're doing it with compassion and awareness, no judgment, no shame, no thoughts of deficiency, just being present for what is and loving this body that you're in. You're spending a lot of time with yourself over the next few weeks, so love it. It's the best way to go. Take a big breath in. Full breath out. And from here, we're going to bring the hands down, lift the right knee, step forward, forward fold. Rise up, reach up, take a big breath in, and exhale, bow down. Halfway lift, hands to shins. Plant the hands, step back to your high plank. From high plank, we lower down chaturanga. Maybe you stop halfway, and then come to the tops of the feet, press into the earth, lifting into your upward facing dog. Just hang out here for a minute. Get our creating space through the front body, softening through the shoulders. Take another big breath in, firm through the thighs. Back to downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. On the inhale, right leg rises. As you exhale, step the right foot between the hands. Keep that left palm rooted. Reach the right arm up to the sky. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, Skandasana over to the left side. We skipped the forward fold on the other side because I don't feel like my booty needs to be in the camera right now, so we don't have to be symmetrical in our practice. You can take a twist here if you want, lifting the right arm up. Getting deep into that side lunge, flex into that right foot. One more breath. And then release, walking the hands, staying low to the ground. Come back into the low lunge. Step the right foot to join, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up, open up the heart. Exhale, bow down. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant the hands, left foot steps back, then the right. High plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, expand through the heart, find your back bend. Back to downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Let a breath go. On the inhale, left heel rises, three-legged dog. Step forward, low lunge. Keep the right palm rooted, lift the left arm up to the sky. Keep firmness in both legs. Take a big breath in. And then release the hands, Skandasana, over to the right side. Flex into that left foot. Maybe you keep the right palm rooted. Maybe you lift up for a twist. You can always wrap that hand around for a bind. Big breath in. Full breath out. Then release the hands, stay nice and low to the ground. Step forward, forward fold. Root down, rise up, lift up, shine brightly, and bow down once again. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant the hands, right foot steps back, then the left. High to low plank. Open up your heart. Back to downward facing dog. So we're going to do that again. We're just going to speed it up a little bit, which doesn't mean fast. It means faster. So just moving one breath, one movement. Let your own breath set your own pace. Really honor the rhythm of your breath. Don't shortchange the breath. Breathe all the way to the top, and when you're ready, you transition as you exhale. So from downward facing dog, right leg rises, three-legged dog. Exhale, right foot steps through. Inhale, reach the arm up. Exhale, Skandasana. Inhale, staying low to the ground. Step forward, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, open up. Maybe a little back bend at the top. Exhale, dive back down. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant the hands, left foot steps back first, then the right. Traveling through your flow. Back to downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale, left heel rises. Exhale, steps through. Take your twist, left arm rises. Exhale, Skandasana. Staying low to the ground, back to the front. Forward fold. Rise up, open up. Exhale, let it all go. Halfway lift, hands to shins. Plant the hands, right foot back, then the left. High to low plank. Upward facing dog or cobra. Hips high to downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. You guys are awesome. You're staying in there. You're modifying. You're honoring your body. I can see you. On the next inhale, look to the front of the mat. Bend the knees. Take a little hop, feet to hands. And as you rise up, chair pose. So right here, take some time. Sink the hips back toward the heels. So invite the hip creases to draw back. So you can see not only the toes, but you should be able to see the ball of the foot, where the ball of the foot would be striking the earth. Maybe if you're noticing a little banana backing in the booty, start to tuck under and create a little bit more space. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, let it all go. Inhale, back up. Exhale. 2 more. Big breath in. Last one. Great way to release stress. As we rise, we come all the way up. Bring hands to the heart. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the blessings of that beating heart. Notice the pace of your breath. Invite that deep, rich breath once again. Inhaling fully. exhaling completely. Notice where you're rooted into the earth, feeling safe and present. Earth is always there to support you. Bring your centering thought back into mind. Remind yourself of your purpose today, passion, your inspiration. And to move into our next flow. On the inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant the hands and maybe hop back if you'd like. You can bend the knees and shoot the legs back, landing with the elbows bent. Make sure the elbows stay a little buoyant. Float the heart up. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Breathe a little bit, pedal out a little bit. Make some movement. From downward facing dog, right leg rises, three-legged dog. Step the right foot through. We're going to root down, rise up into a high crescent lunge. From high crescent lunge, reach forward and then rise back again. Reach forward, find length in the spine from the crown out through the heel and rise. And soften the shoulders away from the ears. Reach and rise. This time as you reach, you're going to take flight, finding your warrior three. If this is uncomfortable for you, remember, wall, always there for you, or root the toes down and continue to find length in the body. So make sure you modify and make it work for you. From your warrior three, slowly start to draw that left knee up toward your chest. Cross the left over the right, finding your eagle bind. We're going to take the left arm underneath the right, squeeze the elbows together, drift them up and away from the face. See if you can start to lower the hips a little bit toward the heels like in your chair pose. Take a big breath in. This is a really intense shape, but a shape that reminds us the importance of the breath. So find your deep breath once again. It cultivates our courage right in the center of our body. Fires up our passion. Take one more breath. And slowly start to inhale, rising up. We're going to step that left foot back in a different lane of traffic than the right, preparing for a pyramid pose. Great time to bring a block, a pillow, or something that may help you lengthen your arm or bring the earth closer to you. So as you inhale, take a big breath. As you exhale, reach the spine forward, find that nice flat back. And right here, just make a subtle shift in the hips so the left hip draws forward, right hip draws back. And then melt down, coming down, chest toward thigh, nose toward knee. Let the head be heavy. Say good morning, hamstrings. Notice the sensations. Just be present for it. Be grateful that you can feel the body, right? And from here, we're going to take a little twist. So keep your left hand rooted. Right arm reaches up, 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 up. Right there, you'll notice that the right hip may want to spin open. Try to keep the hips rooted and just twist through the thoracic spine, through the rib cage, the upper spine. Then if you want to get really nutty, you can start to shift into the left hand and lift the right, or lift the left leg. This is your revolved half moon. Take a big breath in. And we're going to bring that foot right back to where it was for our pyramid, revolved pyramid. And then release the right hand down, just doing everything backwards. Inhale, halfway. Rise all the way back up, coming into your stork pose. And release the foot down. Nice. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, flat back, hands to shins. Plant the hands. Again, you can step back. You can hop back. You can find your way back any way you like. Maybe you're practicing your kick-ups. your handstand floating back. Big breath in. Full breath out. On the inhale, left heel rises, three-legged dog. Step the foot through between the thumbs. Root down before you even begin to rise. Feel stable. Then lift up. Big inhale. Exhale, reach forward. Nice flat back. Inhale, rise. Exhale, reach. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. And this time, inhale. Prepare for your flight. Strap on that seatbelt. Here we go. Tray tables in their upright position. Something we won't be able to hear for a little while, right? So modify. This side is going to feel different. Maybe this side's like, no way. Root down the foot. Hold on to the wall. Do whatever you need to do to make it accessible. I say this all the time. We're not here to please the ego. We're here to please the body, so make it work. Take another breath. And then slowly draw right knee up towards your chest. Wrap right over left, squeezing the thighs together. Right arm comes under left, engaging at the elbows. Elbows up and away from the face. Squeeze everything tightly to the midline. Keep the breath flowing. One more big breath. You guys are beautiful. Power poses. I see them. And slowly start to unwind. We're going to step that right foot back, coming into pyramid pose. So create space. You can adjust the stance however it serves you. Take a big breath in. Exhale, reach forward. Right there is where you make the little adjustment. Left hip back, right hip forward. And then slowly start to melt down. Inviting anything to the practice that'll help bring the earth closer to you. Maybe your puppy's at your feet. Maybe the Lego set is at your feet. Something that will help you feel more rooted through the hands. And slowly, if you like, start to take your twist. So root down through the right hand. Left arm reaches up, up, up. Keeping the hips stable. And then if you want to float, floating into revolved half moon, lift the right leg. Breathe. Make sure you're breathing. One more big breath. And then going backwards, root down through the right foot. Release the left hand. Slowly rise up. Right knee toward chest. And back down to your mountain pose. Take a big breath in. Let a breath go. On the inhale, reach up, rise up, and fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant the hands, float back, step back. I don't know, moonwalk back, however you want to get back to your high plank. From high plank, we're going to come into a side plank once again. So we're going to open up to the right side first. So root down through the left hand. You can always drop the left knee and modify. We're going to bring the toe mounts to touch, stack the heels, and lift that right arm up. And really be cautious of your alignment here. You want shoulders stacked over the joints. You can lift the top leg. You can take any modifications you want here. Take another breath. And then we're all going to turn this into a wild thing. So drop the right foot behind you, bending into the right knee. See if you can open up your hips and your heart to the sky. Take a big breath in. And we're going to come right to the other side. No rest. No, you can rest. You can totally rest. We're going to come, bring the toe mounts to touch, stack the heels, gently taking your time, coming into your side plank. Any options? I like to do tree legs sometimes. Keep breathing. That is your key here to the challenge. Breathe deeply. And then release the ball of the left foot behind you. Root down, lift up, open up your heart. One more breath. And spin back to your high plank. Drop the knees, hips to heels. Ah, child's pose. Just notice that breath, the way it invites the body to contract and expand and soften and ease. It's just like a beautiful dance. It just happens all day long. When we choose to tune into it, to connect with something that's real, we hold this space for ourselves to be at peace. Give thanks for the breath. Give thanks for the opportunity to cater to your body in ways that it needs to after challenges, right? Finding that balance of stira sukha asana. Stira is the steadfastness and the heat and the passion and the effort that we're always trying to offer to just succeed. And the sukha is the softness and the tenderness and the nourishment and the ease that we also invite. And your practice is always a beautiful balance of both. On the next breath, start to come back into your table position. From table position, lift the hips high back to downward facing dog. We're going to begin a pigeon pose here. I'll show you a pinwheel pigeon variation, which is my absolute favorite modification. But I'll show you, I'll guide you first into a traditional pigeon. So when you're ready, right leg rises, bend the knee, start to draw the right knee behind the right wrist. Settle that left knee down, but before you just plop, use the left toes to walk that left leg back and back and back and back. So you create space in the hip. So maybe you've been practicing pigeon for a long time and you get right into it. Don't take anything for granted. Take time to settle and notice and maybe just perfect the alignment a little bit. I don't mean perfect like be perfect, just make tweaks to it so it feels a little different. Feels a little bit more intense maybe if you need that today. If this is like, no way, not going to do it for you today, then come into your pinwheel pigeon. Pinwheel pigeon is really accommodating for people with super tight hips and knee issues. So your pinwheel pigeon looks like this. Your left knee is bent. Your right foot is right up against the thigh. And you're going to rotate the upper body so that you're over the fleshy part of your right thigh. And just walk and extend forward until your chest lays right down on the thigh. Maybe make a little, stack your fist to make a pillow or stack your hands. And just let yourself settle completely and melt. If you're in your traditional pigeon, then, what can you do to invite more of a release into any tightness through your hips? Maybe it's just as simple as letting go of a thought. Maybe it's just welcoming a deeper breath and sending it directly to where the hip needs it. You're welcome to stay here. There are also other variations. If you like to play around with a twist, you're welcome to twist. If you wanted to twist, you'd bring your left arm under your right, come down onto your left shoulder, right arm reaches up and around, maybe for a bind on those right toes. If you like to bind, you can come into, a mermaid. This isn't exactly a mermaid, but if you would want to make a bind, or if you want to have full king pigeon coming overhead, great idea to use a strap to make those accessible to you. My hips today, because I went running this morning, are in need of just some good old-fashioned pigeon. Take 2 more breaths wherever you are. And then start to walk the hands back towards your shin. And if you are in pinwheel pigeon, extend that left leg. We're going to roll right over to our sit bones with that right foot inside the left leg, coming into a revolved head to knee pose. So extend your left arm out inside the leg, reach the right arm overhead, and just stretch. No need to feel like you have to bind on anything here. In fact, I like to put my hand behind my head because I feel like I'm binding that way. and encouraging lengthening in the spine and rotation through the thoracic area. Big breath in, full breath out. Release the hands, start to cartwheel back to the front. Turn onto that left foot, reach the right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Your modification would be three-legged table. Shake out through that right side, shake it, twist it. You can come through a three-legged vinyasa if you want, three-legged plank, three-legged chaturanga, and then let the foot come down to support you as you take your back bend back up into downward facing dog. Big breath in, full breath out. Left side, left heel rises. Draw that left knee forward behind the left wrist. Before collapsing into the right knee, walk that foot back, back, back. It's like traction. Create space through the hip. And then come on down. And if your left hip is lifted, slide something underneath it. Just make sure it's not the kitty cat. She won't like that very much. So, and if that's not for you today, then do your pinwheel pigeon, right? So bring that right leg up. Come on into your little rotation and melt down. Find the shape that works for you. This is your practice, so listen and honor. Focusing on the way the breath is serving the body here. Soften into the jaw, the shoulders. Sometimes when we're stretching one area that's really tight, we absorb it by creating tension in other parts of the body. So be sure to relax everywhere. If you wanted to play around with those options, those extensions of twisting or binding, feel free to play around. Have some fun. Can't take a risk in your own living room when no one is watching. When can you, right? 2 more breaths. And slowly start to walk your hands up, roll over onto your sit bones, coming into, hey, you're over there, coming into this shape. We're gonna do our revolved head to knee, so extend your right arm, lift the left arm up and over so the bicep is framing the ear. Reach, reach, reach. Maybe you bind, maybe the hand comes behind the head, offering length. Make sure the breath nourishes everything right now. Rising from the base of the spine up to the crown and back down again. And then slowly start to release, cartwheel the hands back down. Maybe going through a three-legged chaturanga. You can shake, shake, shake that leg as much as you need to. We're all going to end up in a table position. And from table, sink the hips back toward the heels, coming into a hero's pose. If hero's pose is not comfortable for you, come on down to any seated position that is comfortable. You can also, with heroes, you can sit on a bolster or blanket. You can also bring your heels to either side of the hips, removing that fleshy calf so that you're rooted down. Just take a moment here. If you want to turn this into a back bend, you can start to bring the hands down, maybe even bring the forearms down and start to puff up through the heart. You can lay your back all the way flat against the earth if that feels good. Feel the breath, the way it expands in the body. And we're slowly going to make our way back up, up, up. And we're going to swing the legs out from underneath us. come onto our backs. Once you arrive onto your back, step the feet out as wide as the mat and let the knees tick-tock from side to side. We're going to come back into that eagle shape. So we'll start by wrapping the right over the left and just let the knees drift off to the left side as your head turns to the right side. The left hand can guide the knees down, encouraging a deeper twist. Still breathing deeply into the body. Take one more breath. Slowly start to unwind. Little bicycles up in the sky. And then we're going to cross left over right. Squeeze the thighs together. Let the knees drift off to the right side. Head can turn to the left. One more breath. And back to center. Root down through the sacrum. Lift the legs up to the sky. Maybe take a bind on the big toes and just pike the legs open and closed. Maybe bend the knees. Maybe it turns into a happy laughing baby, giving the back body a little massage. And take any final shapes here that your body craves or begs for before we settle into Shavasana. Maybe a legs up the wall, which is a really nice way to quiet any stress in the body. It's a nice way to help promote sleep habits at night. It's another nice way as well to feel rooted, noticing all the spaces of the back body that connect. If you have a shoulder stand, you're welcome to take it. If there's any other inversion that you want to play around with, now's the time. Get upside down, change your perspective, shake some of those stressful, unpleasant thoughts out of your head, and just be present for what's in the body. There's so much to celebrate. You can spend all of your time living in fear or stress. You can break those thought cycles and cause some new neural wiring by coming back to what's real, what's pleasant, what's joyful in your life. Things that you love, things that fill you with happiness, things you're grateful for. I was with a friend this morning from a very safe distance, mind you, who was adorable, and he was saying how he was worrying and watching CNN, and he turned the TV off and he noticed the birds were just still singing, still joyful, because so much of life goes on, just keeps going on. Flowers are still blooming, the wind is still blowing, the sun is still shining. Take another big breath in. Start to wrap up what you're doing as your final shape. Coming through counter poses. We'll take one fish pose together. So releasing the legs in front of you. Come back up. Slide your hands underneath your bum, coming onto your forearms. Draw the shoulders together. Let the head tip back. Feel the ribcage expand. Take a big breath in. Let it all go. One more big inhale. And now is the time to rest. So unfurl the body, create some space, loosen up the joints, relax the tongue and the mouth, close the eyes if it's comfortable for you, and let yourself completely melt in a space of ease.